I will do the same. Bing! So, welcome back. We are now on session 9 by my counting of Lights of Lumen. Come a long way from your sleepy, cozy, charming town of Lumen Village. Last session, you began chatting with Tychus Whitefurs, the long, shaggy, white-haired, shoony man and his family, having saved them from a bear attack. Ooh, good timing. Anya.
You forgot it was Sunday.
Hello, just in time.
Hello, I forgot what day of the week it was. I'm sorry.
It's all right, my love. Don't worry. Literally just started doing a recap.
Recap. Go for it.
Recap.
Sorry, be quiet.
All good. The bear itself had a manacle marked with the initials SV, and upon seeing this, Tychus told you that this probably, most likely, referred to Sartris Varlin, an animal smuggler, trader, capturer, trapper, who works out of Sea Spray, and whose convoys of animals and trapping parties had been harassed by Tychus and his family because they didn't see the treatment of animals in such a way as being particularly nice. He thinks he probably earned Sartris's ire, and the bear had been released starving and angry on his grounds to attack them. But you managed to deal with it. He was very grateful. Skrick gained a talisman of the Whitefurs clan. Tychus told you that his clan have little pockets of people. They're nomadic and they live all over Hespia. And Tychus and his family joined you briefly on the journey towards Sea Spray. The first thing you came across was an orchard with a strong smell of death upon the air. You investigated and found a deceased knight of the, and I got this wrong last time, of the Duke of Crucible. You'd all be aware that the leader in Crucible is Duke Seria Armentine, non-binary, chooses the title Duke, and their knights are seen as very important agents within the land. So finding this knight here was a very big deal.
What was the name? Sorry,
Duke Seria Armentine. I'll put it in the chat.
Is that of Crucible?
Of Crucible, yep. They rule Crucible. Technically, Hespia as a whole is ruled from the monarchy, which is based in North Hespia, but everybody kind of knows that really the power in South Hespia is the leader of Crucible, which currently is Duke Seria Armentine, who's very well thought of as a strong and wise leader. But you found this deceased knight, and upon investigating and stripping them of their plate mail, which Skrick gleefully took to the wagon, you found a coin size and shaped hole, like a puncture hole in their thigh. And from the look of them, Primrose figured out that they seem to have been killed through the draining of their blood. However, this wasn't a totally quiet scene, as there were wolves prowling around, and they tried to attack you as you were trying to remove the body and moving away. However, you fended them off handily, particularly the twin threats of Celia and Gwilyn dealing with the threat at hand. You decided to take the body and everything with you, headed on towards Sea Spray with Tychus and the family. You then rested for the evening of the 7th of Old Sin, chatting and sharing stories. You leveled up. Got your free archetype. If anyone needs any help with any of that, just let me know. Still, we're all still learning. 8th of Old Sin dawned. You know this to be the time of open harvest, when great harvest ships travel from all over Archivia towards the bountiful land of Verda, where they will harvest as much food and kind of organic material as possible to bring back to their different nations. You managed to reach Sea Spray without any further issue, and Tychus and the Whitefurs family headed off to the north. As you got to Sea Spray, though, and began to see a collection of stalls and people bustling around on the outside, you're heading in with your wagon when you were ambushed by Sorky Salt Cruncher, or Sorky and his gang, the Salt Crunchers, they claimed Gwilyn, telling you to hand her over or die, but were easily defeated and killed. And some people around you cheered, others seemed disapproving of the violence. You found on Sorky's body, along with some very poor weapons and armor, a piece of parchment with a bounty for Gwilyn returned, signed by Forswain. That's it. Forswain Oakleaf, Gwilyn's father, with a reward of 20 gold pieces. At the end of the session, 2 members of the militia turned up in their light blue and red heraldry of the Mar family, and the militia woman seemed quite proud of her role, whereas the other militia member there seemed disinterested and like he couldn't give a damn. And you were deciding, they didn't seem too bothered about Sorky. They didn't seem to feel any need to, like you'd committed any crimes or anything. You'd had a brief chat, and you were considering whether or not to tell the militia about the body in the cart. So that is where we will jump back in.
Oh, I have found the Armitage art, but I want you to use Tom.
Oh, hell yeah. Hit me with it.
That's great. That's really good.
Perfect. I will sort that out in the background. But yeah.
Is the music not playing for anyone else, or is it just me?
In fact, that's a great opportunity for me to turn on music I found for Sea Spray.
Yeah.
Okay. So we hadn't told the guard about the body.
Hadn't yet done so. The 2 guards are there, and in fact I can drag them out for you, but you were kind of on the cusp of telling them or not telling them. It's up to you. You know, the body is in the back of the wagon. The guards don't seem to be particularly interested in searching your wagon or anything like that.
I think we probably should, right?
Yeah. I mean, who else are we going to tell?
Yeah. Do we know if these particular the Baroness Mars men and women have a good relationship with the Knights of Crucible, or is there like a tension between?
What's your society modifier,
I
Celia?
think that's very good. 0.
0. You know that the Knights of Crucible are figures of legend across the land. Certainly not as high and mighty as the transcended mortals or the real rulers, but they are figures of story, and there's kind of a general assumption that they're seen as important figures and looked up to by many people. Anyone who like dreams of being a great warrior or adventurer will often kind of look up to the Knights of Crucible. You don't think there's any necessary connection between the two, but you know that it's a big deal to have the body of a knight there. You think anybody who saw it would definitely be interested, shocked, surprised, interested in what had happened.
Maybe we should take it to like a doctor that could be like, "Yep, this is how they died. It's not these guys."
Yeah, but
sort of thing.
Is that our responsibility when the guards are right here? And I don't really want to be shepherding a dead body through the town without telling guards.
Has the body been searched?
You have searched the body, yeah. You found it.
The plate mail.
Yeah, it had already been like looted of what looked like a satchel containing missives and scrolls, and you'd found sort of the tracks of someone who'd come from elsewhere and dragged the body into the orchard. I missed that out in my recap. But the only thing left on it was the plate mail, which you have currently in the back of your wagon.
Nice.
It's more just to, we could bring guard with us. It's more just to, have an immediate these guys didn't just cut them down sort of thing.
Mm.
Yeah, I think we should alert the guards either way, and then they can either choose to take the body, or then we've at least alerted the authorities, and then if we happen to end up in Crucible, we can tell somebody. But I don't know.
Yeah.
And we could, if they want us involved, we could pursue.
Or they might involve us if they think it's us. This is why I think we should have both somebody that's good at medicine and the guard.
Probably, yeah. I mean, yeah, we could certainly suggest taking it to like an what's the right words
Do a
is,
necropsy.
like an autopsy kind of thing.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah, I think Celia would tell the guards then.
Okay.
If no one else is.
Yeah, so there's kind of a natural lull in the conversation. The guards are beginning to look like they're going to wave you on your way. And you tell them that you have the body of a knight of Crucible. Do you tell them everything you've learned so far, or?
Yeah, I think so. What's the point hiding it?
Okay, yeah, their eyes would go wide, both of them. The disinterested one would kind of snap to a little bit and look back towards the wagon as you're talking about it. But the woman still seems to hold the authority here, and she just says to you, well, that is grave news. You've done well to bring the remains here to civilization. The thought of a knight turning to left to the worms, left to loam growth out in the orchard is terrible. We'll escort you. We'll take you down to the central plaza. I think this needs to go straight to the top.
Celia nods.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she gives the other guard a hefty elbow in the side, and the guard's like, "Oh, yeah, make way, coming through!" And they start making their way, escorting you as you are drawn further into the town.
Would any of us have
Change
some
the
kind of
No, no.
would we have some kind of cloak on us or anything? Any of us?
You've got your traveling cloaks.
Yeah, I think Celia would sort of move up beside Gwillem and just sort of say to, perhaps you should wear this for the remainder of the trip. Maybe talk to Skrick about trying to remain unseen. We don't want more of your dad's men showing up.
Yeah, Gwilyn looks halfway between shocked and furious, and just kind of you can see she's a little bit teary in her eyes, but she gives you a firm nod and kind of scrunches herself up in the back of the wagon with the cloak up and over her.
She would put her hand on her arm and just for a second kind of give her a nod in a you okay kind of way.
Yeah, she'd kind of whisper to you briefly and just be like, "I'm all right. We can talk about it later."
She nods.
Yeah. And you're led down past what looks to be a large wooden stage, a kind of area with a theatre. You see a number of people practicing for what might be a performance later on. Grand speeches are kind of thrown out with various levels of acting hammeriness, how actually sincere they seem. But you pass by and you see that while Seaspray is an eclectic place of different areas, residences, marketplaces, the kind of more sensible and ordered central plaza, there is one thing that ties it all together, which is that it is bustling with activity. People line the streets. You see and can probably even hear already that down by the coast people are cheering many of the ships heading off as harvest ships towards Verda. There is a clamour in the central plaza. There's a number of quite obvious tourists, people in fine clothing, looking quite haughty and well-to-do, but excited to be here, who are milling around an area called, which you would have heard of from Lumen, called the Lane of Wonders, which is a long street with separated shops of all different kinds that are well renowned for having interesting and fine wares. But yeah, there's all manner of different people here. You see people from the common folk right up to the very upper echelons who seem to be holidaying in Seaspray, perhaps traveling from Crucible itself. But it's only maybe 10, 15 minutes it takes for you to be led around with your little wagon in past the only walled section in Seaspray, which is around the central plaza. It kind of feels like Seaspray was built with this wall, trying to be a proper walled settlement, but just quickly ran out of space with its exploding population, and so people gave up, and many have built houses and settled around the initial central plaza. As you head in, you are walked right past, and the militia woman would call out some of the main points to you as you're coming in. This area here, if you can see me pinging, she points out as the guard building, where the town militia are organized, where the crest captains, who are the main authority in the militia, give out their orders for the day, and so on. There is, and your eyes will be drawn to, a very large structure that looks a bit halfway between a castle and a prison, and she would tell you it is in fact used as a prison. There is a lot of criminal activity in Seaspray, drawn here by the tourists, but also the big divide in wealth between the wealthy tourists and many of the common folk of Seaspray. There are many criminal elements that thrive here, like the Salt Crunchers, who will be thriving no more. But leads you past, well, she would ask you first. She'd kind of pause for a second outside the guard center, the militia center, and just say, if there's anything you wish to leave, perhaps your wagon, for now we can keep it safe under watch here at the center. I would rather have the body placed in a cool private area under lock and key while I take you ahead to the manse to see the Baroness.
Yes, fine.
Wonderful. She kind of whistle, and you'd see some more militia coming out of the building. She'd call out orders to have everything placed under watchful eye, and the body to be treated with respect.
Celia would kind of like hold up for a second to the guard and be like, "Whoa, we're going to see the Baroness?"
I told you, I think this needs to go straight to the top. We're dealing with a Knight of Crucible. And you said that there was strange circumstances around their death. I think we need to speak with the Baroness immediately.
I mean, yeah.
Assuming she's here.
We told you everything we knew. I mean, there's not much more we can say.
I think it best come from you. I'm sure you won't be there long. She kind of like, you see her kind of lean to the side, looking over your shoulder for other members of the militia to disappear back inside the building, and then she kind of leans in conspiratorially and just says to you, I don't think she's even there right now. She's barely ever here, but if we don't go now, they'll only haul you out of your rooms or whatever you're planning to do later on to speak to them anyway. It's best to get it done and look like it was your decision rather than being dragged there.
So, what can you tell us about your little town? Is it, is it alright?
It's not been a little town for a while. I love it here. There's a sense of adventure. There's always something new going on. You saw the theatre coming in. That's always good for a laugh. Or sometimes they put on something a little bit more powerful. A lot of the space here is taken up by residences. We got a lot of workers, people out on the sea, fishermen, fisher folk, and sailors of all kinds. We do a lot of trade. There's the well-to-dos, and she kind of points back over her shoulder towards this area here, which is an island separated from the mainland by a canal of maybe 15 feet wide, and fringed on the edge of the island with these beautiful autumnal trees, which makes no sense right now. That we are not in autumn season, so you think perhaps they are kept that way on purpose to look all golden and lovely. The higher ups certainly seem to enjoy it. They've got their fancy pool there, but those of us slightly less with our head in the clouds just enjoy being by the sea. There's the Spirit's Trail. If you're a bit more into your beliefs and want to get in touch with the Kiad Shore. But I spend my free time over by the shipwreck pool. It's a great place to swim, have some fun, refreshing dip, and then head up to the Saltcrest Bounty for some cheap but delicious fish. But yeah, I love it. It's my hometown.
Did you got anything like junkyard or anything like that?
She kind of sighs at that. Yeah,
What's with your tongue, man?
No. We keep this area clean, and you won't have seen much on the way in, but with how quickly the town has expanded, when she kind of looks a little bashful. Let's just say we don't have the best record with cleanup here at the moment. You could take a walk around most places here, and you'd never be too far from a pile of junk that someone's left out or thrown away.
No, really?
Celia just looks at Scrick and has a big grin on her face.
Well, I'll keep an eye out. Well, maybe I should start a little trash collection agency here. How do you now go down?
You would, if you can get an audience with the Baroness or her steward, Aberys, then they would probably pay you good money for it.
What was the
No,
steward's name?
pay me.
Aberys. Aberys.
Carry on.
But anyway, I'll take you through. We're going to go this way. We'll pass through the Lane of Wonders a little bit. I'll point out some of the shops, and as you make your way past, and back out of the central plaza, you see this area up here, which has some paving stones laid down, but much of it is left to grass, dusty grass, mixed with occasional trails of grit and sand that people have thrown down to stop the vegetation growing over. But she begins to point out some of the shops around you, and you see all manner of wonderful shop fronts with strange signs and goods in the window. You see excited noble folk and mischievous urchins kind of lurking around the shop fronts, looking in the windows and gasping at the wonders inside. She points out...
Sorry.
No, go on.
Celia would sidle up next to Scrick, and just with the mention of all the rubbish, and would this area have a fair amount of trash in the streets and stuff?
Yeah, even with the kind of amazing and high society display of many of these shops, you can see Scrick with your eye, and Celia as well, just like tucked around the back and some of these ruined walls as well. It looks like these walls were intended to be built as an extension of the central plaza, but people quickly gave up. There are piles of junk like just resting against the walls.
Could Celia grab something off the top?
Yeah,
as
yeah,
they're
you could
walking?
skip away from the troop for a couple of seconds and grab something.
What would she find, just like sitting on the top?
So, tell me, just choose left or right.
Say left.
Left, so it'll be this shop here. Next to this one, in the junk outside, you would see, first off, it would have a pretty bad smell. It looks like some foodstuffs have been left out here. You see packets of wrapped fish that have been left to moulder. But slightly away from that, you would find trinkets. Little tiny little wooden and painted shields of light blue and red in the heraldry of the Mar family. You see symbols of Saltcrest, the leaping fish on the waves. here as well. You see various bits of kind of sailing goods that don't look practical. You kind of quickly ascertain, especially walking past this shop, that this is a very popular tourist shop. All your knickknacks. I went to Sea Spray and all I got was this lousy t-shirt kind of thing.
She'll grab a trinket of Salt Crest.
Very cool.
And then she'll just approach Scrick and just say, and then just sort of hand it to him and just say, Salt Crest bounty, more like Scrick's bounty, yeah?
Yeah, I was thinking, maybe I could go out in town, get some degenerates and have them clean up for me and put it in a big pile.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, a bit of business. And maybe I can get some money off the, bit of a head honcho to do it.
What are you going to call this clean-up business then?
Whatever you just said. I don't care about the name, I care about the stuff.
Scrick's bounty sounds good to me.
Yes, Scrick's bounty. I like that.
She smiles and sort of doesn't ruffle him on the head because it's a bit patronising, but just sort of just pats him on the back, sort of thing, just a light sort of hand on the back kind of thing.
Yeah. You see the militia woman bang her spear against her shield at some urchins nearby as she sees them sort of picking at one of the latches of the windows around the back of the shop, and they scamper away. She's like, "Get out of it!" But she leads you back through the ruined walls here, over this bridge, over the canals. You see these large barge ships kind of circling around, moving goods between the island elements here, bringing in fish from larger ships outside that offload their cargo onto these barges that then come in through the canals. And as you pass through this area, it is a very busy hub of activity. All sorts of bounty of the sea, various sea life you see being brought up, and you see people haggling loudly in this open area around this large warehouse as she kind of pushes through and makes way for you to be taken across the bridge. And on the bridge are two militia folk who nod as you're being escorted by another militia member, and you are brought into the Golden Isle.
Celia
Golden
would, Celia would, like, as you get close to seeing the sea itself, would sort of like just tug on Primrose's arm just for a second. She just looks out and just says, I've never seen it before.
Me neither. Kind of overwhelmed by this huge place already, and seeing such a huge wealth of water. Quite amazing.
Kind of makes Lumen seem like a bit of a shithole comparatively, doesn't it?
Well, I know Scrick likes all the mess, but to be honest, it could do with a touch of nature. Well, except for this part. I don't know how they're keeping these trees so autumny.
Today, beyond me.
Yeah, as you're brought in, Primrose, you kind of pass some of these trees, and it's a strange sensation for you. There's like a simultaneous, like a feeling of like health and bounty and the natural cycle. This is an autumnal tree about to shed its leaves, but it's not shedding any leaves, and there's like a smell that makes you wrinkle your little rabbit folk nose of like sweet perfume. They don't smell like normal trees. Like this whole area smells of like floral perfume. Like it's a nice perfume, but it's kind of weird with them coming from these trees. And you don't see any sign of insect life on the tree at all.
Oh god, yeah. No, I think like any like chemically perfumed stuff like that, I think should be very much like, even if it smells nice, it doesn't smell nice to her. She's used to like flowers and actual natural nice smells. So just, yeah,
completely understand. The the guard woman just kind of points out to you quite rapidly because she kind of says like, "Oh, this might be the only chance you get to see these sites coming onto the Golden Isle. Doesn't happen always." She points out the pool, which you would see has this beautiful, like, white golden sand beach. You see many members of nobility already staking out their little corner of the beach in the finest fashions of latest bathing suit dress. And the water.
Is it crowded?
It is already crowded, yeah, and it's actually not. It's only like mid-morning. You see people bathing in the waters, but whereas you might have had a glimpse up here of like the common folk splashing and enjoying themselves, you would have heard the sound of laughter and cheering. Here, there is no laughter. It's all very prim and proper, and people are bathing in like a dainty stepping into the waters, and the waters look very still. This stone tidal barrier you can see rings the waters themselves, and you can see other members of nobility kind of arm in arm taking a stroll across the promenade of this, looking out across the sea, all looking very high and mighty. But the guards, the militia woman would say to you that these waters are famed for their properties of their renewal properties. People come here to stay young and stay healthy. And then she would point out kind of quickly, because you are actually just going straight to this building, but she'd point across the Golden Isle and quickly give you a rundown of some of these buildings. She would say that you're in the presence of some quite fancy people here. Where are my notes gone?
Celia would say to Primrose and just say, "How's it swimming with all that fur?"
That's not too bad, to be honest. It's kind of washy, if you know what I mean. But
Not
I
really.
prefer not to swim, really, to be honest. Prefer to dig and play
Doesn't it
play
weigh you
more
down?
with it. Well, I suppose it does a bit. Yeah, it does feel heavier.
Yeah, I thought the air got trapped within the fur and it actually helped you give you better buoyancy or something.
Is that
You've
right?
got fur as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I like to swim. Yeah, looks a bit clean for me.
I don't know if I like this place though. Kind of looks over to the trees. What floor? What is the floor made of? Is it a natural?
It is not. It is paving slabs, but rather than the kind of strict practicality of the central plaza, which is your kind of geometric rectangle flagstones, here it's been done almost in like an oversized mosaic pattern, where you have different types of stone. Some look like kind of the shine of marble, others look like a sedimentary chalk-like stone, others look volcanic. They're all colored with like a complementary variety of like grays and whites, but it looks very much artificial and man-made.
Yeah, I'm very much not really keen on this. She sort of taps her foot on the floor. It looks pretty, but it's just something about it. Can't really feel my connection as easily here.
A bit fancy.
Script looks around, he's at.
I don't really see much difference to home. It's all a bunch of buildings, isn't it?
I guess so. Just not the same trees.
I mean, right now,
Script scares at a tree. They're like,
have you got leaves to me? That's a tree.
I heard about some trees. You see those little roots in the ground, Scrick? They pop on out and they start crawling along the floor.
That's pretty cool. Do they carry anything?
I mean, whatever's in the branches, I suppose.
Interesting.
Primrose is going to try and reach up to one of these trees and get a leaf or something.
Yeah, you reach up to one of the lower hanging branches, and the leaf comes away, though you would notice immediately that it doesn't come away like an autumnal leaf ready to fall. It comes away like a healthy, what should be like a green leaf of like a tree in the summer. So it takes a bit of a tug to bring it down, and as it is plucked and kind of tears from its branch, you get a stronger whiff of that high perfumey smell. It does smell alchemical. It's the kind of smells that you would have smelt in Lumen around the specular sophists, where they treat the lenses and do all that stuff. So yeah.
I see. Yeah. She just puts it on the floor.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't like it.
She hands it to Scrick, Celia does.
Just pockets it.
Yeah.
Without
Perfumed
saying
autumnal
anything
leaf.
else.
Cool. The militia woman points out the few buildings. I've finally organized myself in my notes. I knew this would happen. I've got like 10 pages of notes. I have to keep flicking back and forth. This building here, the smaller one with the brown roof, is the home of a popular writer and bard known on the Hunter's Coast. You guys might have known of them. I'll leave it up to you whether you would have done. Therese Cloudfeather, an owlin.
How do you spell it?
Female bard. I'll put it in the old Chattermadrog. Therese Cloudfeather. Who's known colloquially by her nickname, the Hunter's Harp. Owlin are a folk known for their proficiency as hunters, and she kind of burst onto the scene about 10, 20 years ago, so she's in kind of her late adulthood, but is quite famous, and this is where she has decided to settle, very wealthy and popular, quite a lot of stories about her around. The darker roof one, and any of you who you think would have grown up excited about tales of like pirates or action on the high seas and adventure would definitely be excited by this one. No, I lost it again. I've done myself a mischief here. Where's it gone? There it is. This is the home of the Darkwake family. I'll keep typing things in. Make it easy for poor Natalie. Darkwake family, whose ancestors were incredibly successful pirates. In particular, a famous man by the name of Rydian Darkwake, who was famed as a successful pirate captain, charming, kind of dashing, debonair, very much the quintessential swashbuckler, and was also thought to be blessed by Saltcrest and had taken on the properties of water Ganassi with his connection to Saltcrest. He had this long flowing hair that was like it was underwater, and was known as the Scarlet Saber. So yeah, very wealthy family down through the generations, lives in this large mansion, the Darkwake Mansion. The red-roofed one, she kind of waves over. This is where the employed people who are kept here, that keep the trees as they are and the water as it is, and generally keep everything good. And you would probably see one of them scurrying out from the building in white robes, keeping their head down, and they like scurry up to where you plucked the leaf off the branch, Primrose, and you see them take a little vial out of their pocket, a little like dropper, put 2 drops of this strange like golden liquid onto where you plucked the leaf, and another leaf just grows out straight away, back where it was before, and then the person just like head down scurries back into the building where they were before.
Oh!
Yeah.
What? I don't understand why you just wouldn't let them grow next. I don't. Oh, don't worry.
I don't know what that thing was he put on it, but I want some.
And then
Trip to the
finally,
old, she sort of what was the name of that place we stole from? I can't fucking remember.
the tourist place.
No, back in Lumen, where me
Oh.
and
You
Scrick
stole from.
went into, it's like prickly someone or something.
Oh, Perky Prill's place.
Yeah, a trip
Yep.
to Perky Prill's place. Sort of winks at Scrick.
Well, I don't know what it is yet, but maybe. I mean, I don't live here, so technically it's legal to take stuff, right?
Sure, that's how it works.
Don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's different in big cities.
Yeah, I think it is. There's more people, more stuff. They can't handle it all. I guess I'll be on the lookout.
And then finally, the militiawoman, after kind of waving at the statues and the fountains, she doesn't seem particularly impressed by it. She waves you towards the largest building here. This building dominates this side of the island. Beautiful white stone pillars, very well manicured. Across the kind of stone ridged balconies, that there are all manner of different flora on display, beautiful flowers, and these ones, Primrose, to your delight, do look like they have been grown naturally in their own little kind of flower beds, but certainly not looking weird and perfumed like these trees are.
Oh, good.
But you are ushered inside. The militia woman, you can see, kind of moves over to what you assume must be a member of staff in this building, and says a few words, and the staff member goes hurrying off. And she turns to you and says, like, "We'll wait here for now. They should be with us shortly."
Grick would just pull a cabbage out his bag and start eating it.
Classic bag cabbage.
Yeah, Celia would just like sidle up to one of these paintings and just sort of like look up at the different paintings on the wall and see what they've got on display.
Primrose will look at the flowers, see if she recognises all of them.
There are flowers in here, and Primrose, you recognise many of them. Whoever has decided on these flowers seems to have an appreciation for local flora here. You see many wildflowers native to the Hunter's Coast, and many remind you perhaps of home or the fields around Lumen. And they are arranged in, again, perhaps to your liking, like in quite a free, like, bouquet within a vase here or there, or in a little flower bed. But yeah, they look nice.
Do our own little mini tending to these flowers.
Yeah, absolutely. And the flowers kind of perk up slightly in response to your touch, the little spark of magic from you as you go amongst them. Celia is a very grand, impressive place, much more so than anywhere in Lumen, way more so than the Oakleaf house. This is a mansion. High ceilings, delicate scroll work in the plaster on the ceiling. Fine, everything looks like it costs a lot of money. Fine furniture and rugs, beautiful tall windows letting in rays of sunshine from outside. The Mar heraldry is on display here, the light blue and red motif, but it's not garish. It's all quite well tended to and designed, and it doesn't feel like a musty old aristocracy kind of place. There is a feeling of youth and vigor here, although many of the paintings do seem to depict older generations. You see that many of them are smiling. There isn't too much evidence of like a haughty demeanor or scowling older generations looking down. The family seems to be a friendly one. Many of the poses in the pictures are of smiles by the seaside, or scenes on a beach, or someone holding up. You see an older man, quite portly, holding up a large fish, which he looks incredibly proud of. with the seaside in the background. But yeah, an interesting place. But before too long, the staff member comes back, and you are beckoned through to a smaller room. In this receiving room, you see the room itself is smaller. The chamber itself is adorned with a number of paintings, not of singular members of nobility of previous generations, but instead seemingly of staff. The paintings are of like collections of staff. Many of the tables that litter the walls of the room, like you can see in the art, are bedecked with trinkets and pictures and like they look like awards, like little trophy cups and awards and things. But sitting in a large armchair by a small writing desk, which has been pushed to the side and flanked by two other members of staff, is a hunched, looks to be in his kind of middle age to late age, half-orc man, peering at you over a set of spectacles. He is dressed formally, a fine white crisp shirt underneath a tailored black jacket, and trousers to match. He looks very well put together, prim and proper, has all the look of a kind of a fine businessman. But he sits and seems to be the main figure in the room as you enter. Let me pull out his token a bit bigger for you there.
Yeah.
As you come in and kind of are filed into the room, and the militia woman stands off to the side, the staff member bows to the half-orc man and bows to you and exits, pulling the two doors together, closing the doors behind you. The man kind of takes a second to survey you all, then clears his throat, just says, "I've been told you're here on a matter of grave tragedy." He kind of looks as if waiting for one of you to take the role of spokesperson here.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess you could say that.
Well,
Yeah, I just came because the guard guy told me to come.
You
What
can
have you been
see-
told already?
he's kind of sizing everything up as you're saying these things. I've been informed that you have the remains of a knight of Crucible, no less.
Yes, we found him out near the orchard. We were
The old
working our
orchard.
way in.
Found him?
Yeah, we didn't kill him.
Could you describe to me the manner that you found him in?
Celia would describe it. Best of her
And
ability.
Primrose have described the wound.
Yeah, as you describe the wound, you see his eyebrows kind of rise a little bit. It's like, how odd. Well, my apologies for being so brusque. Not often you hear of a knight of Crucible falling like this. My name is Abaris Usani. I am the steward here in the Baroness's absence. She will be returning upon the morrow, and I will be informing her this grave development. But I would like to thank you for bringing the remains to a seat of civilization. We will, of course, make all arrangements for the return of the body to Crucible, where it can be laid to rest amongst its brothers and sisters in arms.
That's good news.
What about the armor?
Well, the armor will return to Crucible as well, of course.
Yeah, but we getting any a little something for finding this dead guy.
He kind of peers down at you, scrape over his spectacles. And there's a long moment of pregnant pause before he kind of cocks a slight smile. And it's just like, got nothing against the spirit of entrepreneurial nature. Yes, of
Wait,
course.
Before you commit to anything, maybe we need help finding some people as well. And that she kind of looks to Script, kind of like, sort of almost saying sort of sorry, but it's also kind of like this takes priority kind of thing. And
We knew where they went up north.
yeah, but we need to know if they passed through here.
We could ask that. You could just ask it. You just did.
She kind of looks up at the guy.
Yeah, the guy's kind of like reclined in his chair with his fingers steepled, watching you two talk to each other. I think for such a matter of import, a small favor of the House of Mar is not too much to ask, and he leans to one side and speaks quietly to one of the staff members, who nods and hurries off out of the door. They will return shortly with your reward, as he kind of does a little half bow of his head to you, Skrick.
I wasn't going to ask for anything monetary. I was just going to ask if you can, if there's an abandoned warehouse, just let me use it, that sort of thing.
Use it for what purpose?
Well, I saw the streets were pretty, dirty. So I was going to hire a few people and get them to dump them off somewhere, but I don't have anywhere to get it dumped off. So if you just loan me a warehouse or a little shack or something, we could kill two birds with one stone.
Roll a diplomacy check for me, please, Skrick.
Yeah.
He would be like,
I'm not doing this out of goodness in my heart. I just like stuff.
Yeah, you can see when you said about the streets being a bit dirty, he kind of bristled slightly in his chair. But as you kind of rambled on into a practical solution, he leans in a little bit. He's like, interesting. It's not often you have people who purposely aim themselves and their endeavor towards the scrap on the streets. Perhaps you and I can discuss this further. A spare warehouse will be difficult to come by, but I could offer you rental of a barge.
That sounds good.
How are you with the water?
I'm fine.
All right. We can discuss this further, perhaps later on. And you can see the staff member returns in with a wooden box and presents it to Abaris with the top opened up towards him. He looks in, kind of, you hear the sound of like coins moving as he kind of reaches in and moves stuff around as if peering in, looking at what's there, and then he's just like, yes, that'll do fine. And the staff member turns around and hands the wooden box out towards the group of you.
Mm. Yeah.
You take the box.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Inside the box, you can see a number of coins. It looks like quite a healthy sum of money. But also some interesting other bits and pieces. A small crystal glimmers inside with a magical essence to it. And a number of interesting looking different vials and potions glimmer inside as well. Abaris just says, that should serve you well. A fitting response. Let none say the Mar household is not a generous one.
What is it?
Well, a sum of gold, believe 20 gold pieces in assorted coinage, and a number of different potions, serums, and small magical items from my own collection. I'm a bit of a dabbler, you see, in how chemical works, and this is what we have on hand.
Well, thank you. I think they will be really useful. But really, more, really, we just kind of would like to know whether you've seen any of our I'm assuming that the light bearers would come through here whenever they go out, so they might know them.
Yeah, you know the route that the light bearers take each year is pretty well set. They go to Sea Spray, then go north and up to Crucible, round through Kale's Haven and Maryhold before taking the much more dangerous element, the final trek across the Forbidden Expanse.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you know that our light bearers from Lumen come through here every year? Every
Mhm.
year. I don't know, I suppose you've seen them go past this recently. Or anyone, or how to find that information out.
The light bearers, as they fashion themselves, are well known here in Sea Spray and are often received with joy and celebration. But I myself don't often leave the manse, and if so, it's on business. Your best bet for the rumor mill or information about them passing through would be the inn, the salty knucklebone.
Okay. Well, it seems like we should go and ask them then. She looks around to everyone.
Yeah, let's go.
Do we have anything else we need to do here? Can't remember now.
We need to.
When should I come back to discuss this arrangement?
Oh yes. Perhaps you could meet me. I assume you're staying the day?
I assume I am as well.
Well, then, first thing tomorrow morning. Shall we say, at the sound of the first crier's announcements, if you make your way to Sailor's Berth, you will have passed it on your way here, I would assume. She wouldn't have taken you through the Darkmoon Wood. It would have been the exceedingly busy fisherman's area. If you make your way there by the main warehouse, I'll meet you first thing tomorrow.
Alright, that sounds pretty sweet.
And he like rubs his hands together.
This is gonna be good.
Yeah, you can see the guy's got like a quizzical look on his face, kind of sizing you up, Skrick. But he keeps himself very polite and pleasant. He says, the gratitude of the Mar House and all of Sea Spray is with you for doing such a service. I know Duke Seria would be very grateful on the return of one of their fallen knights. But thank you for coming. If you don't mind, this another day. The open season begins, but
Oh wait,
work
Squid
goes
remembers
on.
something.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we also there was a big patch of marsh and we cleaned that up as well.
Excuse me?
On the road between Sea Spray and our village, there was like a really big, I don't know what they're called, those froggy things.
Boggarts.
There's boggers, there are boggers, and they're blocking up the road. Halting trade. Not really you should do anything, but I thought I'd let you know that we sorted the problem. It was difficult, but maybe it'd be good to send someone to have a look. There's like some sort of tap route down there, but I closed the key. Maybe you want to put a man or something on that. I don't know. It's not my town.
I see. Well, thank you for the information. I'll make sure to pass it on to the relevant interests. I've often voiced the need for a guild or a organization of road militia. I've brought it up at Crucible many times, but it's often shouted down. No one wants to finance it. I can't say the route to Lumen is the most important when it comes to trade, but
Yeah, you're probably right there.
I'll see what I can do about sending someone on over to check it out, as you say.
You do you. I'm not too concerned, but I thought I should let you know.
Thank you kindly.
Yes, no problem.
Well,
Yeah.
Sarian be with you all.
See you later.
Yeah, see you later.
Bye. Thank you for all the stuff.
You're welcome. As you are led back out of the Mar Manse.
What stuff
Back
did
out.
we get, Tom? Just so I can-
So, the staff, I think, would explain it to you rather than you needing to identify everything. There is 20 gold pieces in assorted coinage. You can break it down in your inventories or however you like. But 20 gold worth of value of currency. And then, yeah, there's actually quite a few small things. The staff, I think, probably would have labelled everything. I'll write this all out. There's something called a vexing vapor, which is like a little vial of red liquid that looks like it's almost a gas. A potency crystal, which works like a talisman. You can affix it to a weapon and activate it to cause that weapon to be like a +1 magic version of itself. For I'm not sure for how long. I'd have to check. But a potency crystal. An alchemical poison called Black Smear Poison, which can be used as an applied to a weapon. A interesting thing, which is like a vial built into an arrowhead, and this is called a life shot. It's essentially a weaker version of a healing potion that can be fired like an arrow from a bow into an ally, dealing no damage and instead healing them. A vial of life-boosting oil, which is an oil you apply to yourself when you think you're about to go into a fight, and next time you take damage, it starts giving you healing each round for a number of rounds thereafter. And finally, and this one would have the picture of a spider on its label, something called a Spiderfoot Brew, which is a potion that can be drunk for a temporary climbing speed as you're able to climb up walls and such.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go.
Could I take
Thanks.
the potency crystal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does the life boosting oil do again, Tom? Sorry.
That's all right. The life-boosting oil, you apply it to yourself when you think you're going to be in danger, because you can't put it back in the bottle once you've applied it, and it only lasts for 10 minutes. But if you take damage in that next 10 minutes, it applies... The condition is called fast healing. I think it's fast healing 3 or 4. So basically for like 5 rounds or something after you've taken damage, you gain back 4 HP every round, something like that.
I think Script would like to take the life shot because he has the bow.
Sounds good.
Anyone else
Shot.
want anything?
The black smear as well. Are these on the thing, Tom, or not? Or have you made them up?
Some of them will be in the compendium and some of them won't be, I would have thought. Feel free to just put them in as their names and I will fill in details between
Right.
stashes. Which is
Yeah.
another thing I forgot to do for Celia's feats.
Script took the life shot and the black
I
smear.
think I did it anyway.
Ah, thank you.
I'll take the life stuff, whatever it's called. Life
Life boosting oil
boosting
and the
oil.
potency coil
Yeah.
crystal. That leaves the vexing vapor and the spiderfoot brew.
What do they do again?
The spiderfoot brew gives you a climbing speed for a short amount of time. It's a potion that you can drink. So you can climb up walls and such. And the vexing vapor deals damage. It's like a thrown thing. You can throw it and it will crack open and deal some mental damage to people.
Okay. No, I don't want either of them.
Okay, I'll take the spider foot then.
Morrigan, would you like any of the thingamajigs?
I think I heard a couple of them. I want the life potion.
Well, Celia's taken the life-boosting oil.
Alright, okay.
There's the vexing vapor and the spiderfoot brew left. Spiderfoot brew
But-
lets you like climb up walls temporarily.
Yeah, even though that's your absolute nightmare, that is what I will have.
Awesome. So Spiderfoot Brew to Morrigan and Vexing Vapor.
It's to mess with you.
Nice. Vexing Vapor for anyone?
What does that do again?
It's like a thrown flask. You throw it at someone, it cracks open, deals them some damage, and also means that if they do anything with a concentrate trait, which might be like a spell thing, they have to pass a flat check to pass it. So it can be good against like spellcasters and such.
Maybe Gwillem could use that?
Yeah.
Or Morrigan?
Yeah, you take it, Morrigan. Vexing Vapor. If you can make sure they're both written into your inventory. Spiderfoot Brew and Vexing Vapor.
Yeah, but you know I don't know how to do that, Tom.
So, if we go into your inventory on your character sheet. Inventory. And we add under stowed items. Vexing.
I haven't even found my character sheet yet. I don't know how you're doing this so quickly.
Vexing Vapor. Well, I have to organize a lot of other stuff. And then Spiderfoot Brew. Spiderfoot Brew.
Spiderfoot Blue.
Spiderfoot Brew. There you go.
You can always show me how to do it later on when we do our nightly video call.
Sounds good. I'm not sure if you have your free archetype yet either, so we'll sort that out, but it's fine.
Who knows?
Cool. But yeah, you are brought back out into the sunshine and led off the Golden Isle. And the militia woman would ask you, is there anywhere you want me to take you or anywhere you want to go before I take my leave, get back on duty?
The inn, right? The salty knuckle
Yeah.
inn.
Salty Knucklebone, coming up.
Salty knucklebone, is that what it was called?
She would lead you back round into the central plaza to this large red-roofed building here. She'd just say, I wish I could have a drink, but duty calls. Best of luck to you all.
Thanks.
Thank you. Goodbye.
I lagged out. Yeah. Looks like. Rumble, shut up.
Seem to be the main staff here as they busy themselves about the place. Two male and one female taking orders, pouring drinks behind the bar. You see there's like a set of this tall bar and there's a set of steps where they just get up and walk on the bar and pour the drinks from behind it there. And the other main thing you'd notice is that many people seem to be playing a game on each of the tables. And probably just as you enter into this really rustic, coastal, welcoming inn, you hear a group of rough sailors at a nearby table shouting out in unison, "Knucklebone!" as the clattering of small bone sounds as you see a tottering tower of balanced bones clatter to the ground and spill over the nearby floor, and the men fall about themselves, laughing and pointing at each other. And you see each table seems to come with a little bowl of these small bones, and people are playing this game where they try and balance the bones on top of each other, taking in turns. But this is the scene that greets you as you enter. What would you like to do?
Scrick would look around and see if there's anywhere where people convene looking for work.
You take a quick look around, and you see that many of the people here look as if they come from different occupations and backgrounds. There is no clear job notice board or anything like that. But you do note that the three halflings, the staff here, seem to be very much part of the community and are frequently checking in with the groups at different tables. So you think probably they're the best people to ask.
Okay. Keep that in mind for tomorrow.
Oh, indeed.
Celia wants to ask someone if they've seen any sightings of the light bearers in recent times.
Yeah, so you head up to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
One of the halflings, one of the two men, walks across the bar towards you, asks you if you're having a drink, what can I get you? But if you just immediately say you're looking for information,
yeah,
he would say, yeah, we've light bearers came through a couple of weeks back, must be maybe 10 day gone now. Saw Yormag and Sigurd drinking like they usually do when they come through, having a rowdy old time with the local boys. Yeah, I think they were chatting about some of the folk back at Lumen. But I don't like to eavesdrop and tell, who are you?
Yeah, those Lumen folk are real,
And he gives him a look.
Well, we're probably those Lumen folk, But I was just more curious: did they have their horses with them, all of them?
Believe so. Yeah, you could ask
Okay.
over at the stables, by the militia building, but they rode in, I'd assume, and they rode back out. I don't remember them asking about getting a new horse. Are you all from Lumen then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say that.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, hold on. Tell me what you think of this. And he hops down off the bar. You hear him rummaging behind, and you hear one of the other halflings call out across the bar, a female voice, and she calls at him and just says, "God damn it! I've written too many notes. Where have they gone? Here it is." She calls out and says, "Pudley, what are you doing?" It's like, "These guys are from Lumen. I'm going to show them the mug." And she's like, "Oh, Lumen. All right, hold on, I'll be over." And she starts to make her way over. But you see him emerge, a big grin on his face, and he's just like, "Of my own invention?" And places a mug that just looks like your kind of standard mug, but this is made of a metal, and he pushes it across the bar towards you, having to kind of reach up and over with his small halfling form. Just says, "What'd you think of that?"
Oh, yeah, it's really nice.
Can Scrick appraise it?
Yeah, and as soon as you pick it up, Skrick, what looked like kind of a boring metal mug, and you're thinking, this guy's an idiot. Why is he showing me this? As soon as you pick it up, you notice that the bottom of the mug is a lens, like a beautiful lens that you would have seen crafted in Lumen. And the glass actually shifts color as you kind of move it between the different levels of light in the room. And he just says, "Yeah, one of your lot came here for a visit. God, must have been 6 months ago, and he paid with a lens, and I thought I'd best make use of it in honor of our good neighbours over in Lumen."
How much do you want for it?
Oh well, that was many an evening. And the lens itself, I mean, I know the lenses you make over there, pretty special.
He's gonna look at it and he's like,
Yeah, but this one's low quality. You can tell.
You see the look on his face just drops. He's like, "Oh, really? I tried to get some good materials for it and everything."
In the lens, not the cup.
Oh right. Well, I guess you guys would know better.
Yeah, I guess I would.
He starts scratching his stubbly chin when the woman comes up, and you see this quite strong, quite tall for a halfling looking woman with braided blonde hair, and she's got her hands balled on her hips, and just says, "Don't you sell it for any less than 5 gold pieces, Pudley."
What about?
he rummages around in his bag.
Oh my god! Shit! I don't have that much. Hang on. I've got 50 beads in the back.
Oh, 50? And Pudley starts reaching out and it's like, "Yeah, you..." And then Patty, the woman, interjects and slaps his hand away. It's just like, "Don't you dare, Pudley Fishburne. You spent ages on that, and that's a proper Lumen lens."
I've got some soiled hide armor in the back.
She kind of squares up to you, Skrick, as you're rummaging. And she's just like, "I don't know who you think you are, young man, but you can stop trying to take my husband for a fool."
I'm not saying he's a fool. I just really want that goddamn cup. It's awesome.
Well, you heard me. 5 gold pieces.
You heard me. Seagull statue.
And he still slams it down on the on the thing. And it's badly done because I think he made it.
Yeah, and you see Pudley just like, "Whoa," reaching out towards it. And she slaps his hand back again. She's just like, "No, no, 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 no. That's a proper Lumen lens. I know what it's worth. 5 gold pieces.
Shit, I don't have that much.
I'll give you a silver for the statue, though."
Seagull statue, it's not for sale.
you were just trying to trade it.
Yeah, I'm not trading for money.
All right. Well, we can come back to that later on.
Yeah, make sure you don't sell that thing to anyone else, because I might be back with 6 gold pieces at some point, and I want it.
Come back with 6 gold pieces. You can walk away with the mug.
Yeah, the mug.
I mean the lens mug, not my husband.
Oh,
Right.
I mean, he's probably worth more than 6, right? At least 10.
Oh, you hear that, Pudley? And he's just like, "Yeah, 10 gold pieces."
If he had the skill to build this beauty, well, might have to put him to work.
Go and find Porky. We've got tables to serve. I'll deal with these guys.
I'll have a salt water with lemon in, please.
All right, there you go. First order.
And
but she
you're saying she wouldn't actually bat an eyelid at someone ordering salt water with lemon?
Nope.
Is that a normal thing in this universe? Because I thought Kieran just said it'd be weird, and you're just going with it.
They drank it in Shattered Lake. but Scrick just likes it as a palate cleanser.
See,
Yeah.
that makes sense because it was a watery kingdom. Sorry, I don't know why this is the bit where suddenly I'm like, no, that's too far.
She
But yeah.
she strikes you as a woman who, with fine business sense, is just like, if you're willing to give me money for salt water with a bit of lemon in it, I'll happily oblige.
I feel like I have the opposite of that at the moment, where I'm just like, people do weird shit. Just do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care anymore.
And you see Pudley goes and finds some salt water, gives you a big wooden handled mug, Scrick, and chops up a bit of lemon, drops it in there for you.
Sweet, thanks.
And he even though he doesn't like it, he chugs half of it. And he's like,
Delicious.
You feel your stomach like.
Can I just have an ale or something?
Yep, ale sounds good. Patty, are we? And Patty's like, no, the first round. It's fine. Travelers from Lumen deserve a drink. That's a fairly long journey.
Can I just have fresh water?
Of course. Best water in Hunter's Coast. And
I'll have a nettle tea if I may.
we've got a pot right on.
Thank you.
Porky,
Great
hurry up!
benefit.
Sorry, madam.
Nothing. I was just saying that it's got great medicinal benefits.
I happen to think so too. I'll likely have one on my break, but that is not now. You see her like clap her hands. Come on, Porky! And you see a man, another halfling man, come running round the corner with a tray of empty wooden mugs. They're just like, what am I going to do with you two? And they just kind of half collide behind the bar before setting up new drinks to head out to the rest of the inn. But she turns around to the lot of you with her hands on her hips and just says, the name's Patty Fishburne. This is Pudley and Porky, my husband. Welcome to the Salty Knucklebone. First drinks on the house, coming from Lumen. Went to Lumen once. It's a lovely place. Haven't been back since, sadly. Business keeps me here. But what can I help you with?
Well, we've already got some good answers from you guys. We might go and check the stables, but what do you think, everyone? Should we get rooms here for the night?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah. And then the second night we can spend it on a barge.
How many rooms do your, how many beds do your rooms have in it?
We can either do you a private room, singular bed, all things cared for, bath complimentary, or we can do you a communal room. That would sleep 6.
How much is the private room?
The private room, with all the trimmings, would be a gold piece and 5 silver pieces.
She hands over
Whoa.
2 gold, and it's just like, just for some drinks as well.
Very kind. Thank you very much. Can see you're going to be good customers already. She pockets the coins.
What's your cheapest room?
What was the name of the other husband? Porky and...
There's Porky and Pudley.
I kept thinking Pudsey. I was like, that's not right.
She'd smile at you, Scrick, and say, depends if you're willing to work. Do a shift in the kitchens later, and I'll put you up in the staff quarters for the night.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, actually. Yeah, I'll do that.
Deal.
Sweet.
I don't... Hey, Patty, we're like passing through, but a friend of ours, he keeps getting harassed by someone who lives here apparently. You haven't heard of a Sartris Valen?
She kind of
says
hugs.
she does say it quieter because she knows that.
Yeah. She tugs at one of her braids for a second, thinking. And she says, yeah, I think I know Sartris. Deals with animals.
Yeah, it sounds like him.
He supplies the the shop on the Lane of Wonders. It's got a funny name. Hardborn Home. Hardborn Home for Healthy Hooligans. That's the one. Pudley wanted a pet hamster at one point, but I didn't think I could trust him with it. But we spent a good hour in there with him crooning over them.
What was it called again? Sorry, Tom.
The Hardborn Home for Healthy Hooligans. Hardborn Home for Healthy.
And he operates the shop.
I think he supplies the shop with animals. The shop itself's owned by Omega Hardborn. He comes in here to drink quite often, actually.
Hold on, there's a lot of notes.
That's all right. I've written a lot of notes.
He supplies the Hardborn Home for Healthy Hooligans with animals, which is run
by Omega Hardborn, who often drinks at the Salty Knucklebone Inn.
Are they around tonight?
Most likely. They're in here pretty much every night, unless they've got something else
What do they
going
look
on.
like?
Old fella, human, long grey hair, keeps himself in fairly decent nick, but between you and me, he likes his drink a bit too much. I think he was quite a big deal in Crucible before, dealing in animal trade and such, but something went wrong and he's found himself here and drowning in sorrows each night.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, no trouble. So I don't mean to be rude, as she kind of turns her attention to you, Primrose, and just says, "But is your name Primrose?"
Yeah, how did you know that?
I think you were talking to my husband about them. The two light bearers, Yormag and Sigurd. They were chatting away, deep in their drinks, as they often are when they stay over here before heading on northwards. And the big guy, Yormag, he was talking about you.
Oh, all nice things, I hope.
Very nice things. He was saying that he's excited about the youth of Lumen growing up a bit, getting stronger, and he wants to... I think he said something about wanting to train you about caring for people, medical stuff and all of that, healing.
Oh my gosh, that'd be really good. That'd be really exciting, actually.
Yeah.
Oh. I hope they're all right.
And you must be Morrigan? As she looks up at you, Morrigan.
Yeah, that'd be me.
The other one, Sigurd, he was talking about you. He said he was worried about someone called Rolo.
What? Why would he be worried about Rolo?
I'm not sure.
Is something wrong? Is she ill?
Hey, I'm sorry,
Is
I
there-
wasn't part of the conversation. I just kind of, in passing, he said something about her being quite old, but that he was impressed by a Morrigan Fate Weaver.
Right, well, if it's something you think I should be worried about, guys, maybe we should go back. Maybe I should go and check on Rolo.
We can't go back. We need to find the light bearers.
Yeah, Primrose is right. I'm sure she's fine. I mean, we saw her before they did last, so... I mean, you probably know how she is better than anyone else.
Yeah, well, you got the most updated version of the information.
Exactly.
Oh, so.
If it makes you feel any better, madam, he didn't seem like he was in great distress. They were chatting back and forth over a game of knucklebones. He set the record for the night, actually. Got 9.
Yeah. If there's anything I can tell you about Rolo, it's that she's terrible at knucklebones.
Wow.
Sorry, that was really hard to say in that accent.
Knucklebones. Well,
I will find you, and I will kill you.
Well, it's not the easiest game. My record's 7. Pudley and Porky rarely get past 3, but we've had a few in here who've managed to clear double digits. I reckon your young working friend here, And she kind of nods at Scrick. Might be half decent at it. He looks like he's got dexterous hands.
You have dexterous hands, Scrick.
It's my business.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's what I heard. The light bearers. I know there's the 5 of them, but I didn't see hide nor hair of the Ritpel, Filtria, or Amareya. It's a shame, really. Amareya performs at the old Pebble Theatre sometimes when she comes through, but not this time.
Yeah, we suspect they probably got attacked on the road or something.
No. Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they said.
Oh. That's awful. They're all good folk. I haven't heard anything here, I'm sorry, but
They haven't come back through, you know. Or
no sign. I just assumed they were, by getting round the bend past Discovery to Crucible by now.
Hmm.
Well, so is it no other horses from through here?
No, they stabled their horses as normal. Old Thunder put up a bit of a fuss, as he always does, but
Yeah, old Thunder ran back to Lumen. He must have gone round seas.
ran back to Lumen.
Yeah, pretty unbelievable, but that's what happened.
That horse loves Amareya. Oh. And as you can see, she looks quite grave thinking about it. Well, the Lightbearers have a lot of friends here. They're always a welcome sight when they come through. So, I don't know. Whatever you need, or if you're trying to get somewhere or sort something here, feel free to let people know that you're from Lumen. You'll be looked upon kindly, I'm sure.
yeah.
Right, well, keep this quiet. We don't want anyone thinking, Lumen people, a bunch of weaklings.
No, don't you worry. I've got enough secrets, rumors, and odds and ends rolling round my head that if I don't focus on one thing, it all just ends up milling about. Well, pleasure talking to you. I'm sorry, I know your names, Primrose Morrigan, but you are. She points at you, Scrick.
Just call me Scrick.
Scrick, and you, and you.
Celia.
And Gwilyn says, Gwilyn.
Well, I better help you in the kitchen and come on, let's go.
I mean, you can start now if you like. Work off your debt for later, or you can do your own thing and come back around the dinner rush. It's up to you.
When do you want me?
Dinner rush?
Right, I'll just come now.
I don't really want to touch any bones, but and if anyone else wants to, you can.
Completely up to you guys. And she throws an arm around your shoulder, Scrick, and leads you off towards the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
What are the rest of you doing?
I was thinking maybe we could go take a quick look, see if the stable guys said that. See if they've seen any, roaming loose horses around anywhere or nearby.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll come with you if you want.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I just want to play Knucklebones.
Yeah, completely up to you guys. You can split up. Scrick's gone into the kitchen. If Morrigan wants to take a table, play Knucklebones. Gwilyn would kind of ask you, Celia, whether you think she should be like walking around or whether she should stay here and keep her hood up with Morrigan, maybe.
I think you should stick with me, Sweet Leaf.
Yeah, she'll stick with you then.
I'm down for some Knucklebones though. We could what about we have some lunch, play some Knucklebones, and then go look for the horses?
Yeah. I can wait.
I think I want to come back this evening as well. I know we're on a schedule, but I want to ask. I want to ask around for Tychus. I want to see if
Yeah.
I want to see if that
What do you? What, even if we see him though, what do you think we can do about it?
I don't know. I just want to ask about him from that Omega guy who owns the Hardborn home, whatever it's called.
And if he says that he knows where to find the guy, what do we do about that?
I don't know. I haven't really thought that far ahead. I don't know. I feel like
We could go to that place and release all his animals.
I mean maybe. I just feel like
We might play
I feel like
havoc on the nature around here, though.
I feel like Sigurd would want us to, you know. I feel like Sigurd would want us to follow, you know, in their footsteps. Like, the light bearers, they didn't just. If they were bringing the light, they getting the waters and whatnot. They wouldn't just let this kind of stuff happen. I don't know.
No, I agree. Maybe we can do a good deed for them, as if they were doing it themselves.
Yeah, if something's happened to them, then well, we should follow in their stead, like you're saying. I don't know. Maybe I'm being stupid. I nearly got myself bloody killed with some stupid boggards. She kind of like drinks her like chugs her ale back in one big thing and just says, "I can't even." And then Gwilym nearly got captured. I don't. Maybe I'm in over my fucking head. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you know what you're doing, Celia. We've got past all of these challenges so far, and you've been key to all of them. We can do it.
She smiles. Just thanks, Prim. I wish my head was as screwed on as yours is.
Takes a little small sip of her water with both hands. Yep. I mean, I don't know about screwed on, but I just like to keep positive, you know. And I think I believe what I say as well. You know, I think you are really good at Celia, and you, Gwendolyn, you did some really good shots, and Morrigan. Is Morrigan at the table? What's she there?
Morgan's at the table, yeah.
Yeah, she's waiting for our Knucklebones game.
And
New
Rev
high score.
Yeah, Celia smiles and says, "You're good too, Prim. Don't forget that. And thanks. I needed that. All the back in Lumen, I don't know. My whole life is just like you want to get the fuck out of there, and then everyone tells you you're not ready, but you know you're ready, and then you get out, and then I don't know. Part of my brain starts thinking Mum was right, but you're right. She wasn't. Let's sort this. Let's have lunch and then we can go ask about the horses, and then we can find this Omega guy.
Let's do it. Suppose you
Okay.
can do knuckle games.
Yeah, let's play some Knucklebone.
You want to play some Knucklebone? All right. The box of various bones are set down next to you. They're all worn down so that they're roughly the shape of like a pebble knuckle-ish in size. You don't know their origin of animal bones, fish bones, people bones, but they are colloquially referred to as knuckle bones, as they all have a roughly similar shape and size. But they are uneven and often kind of circular or curved surfaces, and they look difficult to balance on top of each other. To play knucklebone, play it with as many people as you like. You each take turns. We'll roll off to see who goes first. And you take turns placing the knucklebones one on top of each other. Oh, Primrose does not want to play knucklebone. There you go. So it'll be Celia, Gwilym, and Morrigan. You take turns placing the knucklebones. You're trying to get it as high up as possible. Each time you place a knucklebone, although the first knucklebone place doesn't need to be checked, you do a dexterity check, just straight dexterity. In fact, if you've got training in sleight of hand, you could use, or thievery it's called in Pathfinder, you could use thievery. And depending on, excuse me, how you do, if you pass the check, you just move on to the next knucklebone being placed without anything going bad, nothing falls down. If you do not pass, you still place the knucklebone, but you then have to roll a number of dice, d6s, equal to the number of knucklebones currently placed. Nope, not d6s, because that wouldn't work. d8s, and if there are any doubles, then the tower falls down.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah. So roll off to see who goes first. I'll roll for Gwilym. Just a straight d20.
D20.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not
Nope,
me.
not me.
So Gwilym's going first. I'll put the thing up just for the sake of it. And...
You can tell us what we need to do, Thomas.
Yes. So
Here we
Gwilym will
come.
go first. Then Morrigan. Then Celia. Cool. So Gwilym will place down the first knucklebone, which requires no check. She kind of takes a moment to sift through the bones, and then places one down. Then it will go to Morrigan. So Morrigan, can you make a thievery check for me, please? It's on your character sheet under skills. You can click thievery. DC starts off pretty low.
I will. It's just loading.
No worries at all.
Sorry, I didn't want you to think that I was ignoring you.
Not at all, my love. Morrigan picks out a knucklebone and,
Thievery.
eyeing it up, carefully places it upon the first.
Feverly. Sorry, I think I've gone insane. 7.
Oh, a 7 is a failure. We
Shut
would
up,
then
Tom.
roll the dice, but of course there's only one dice at the moment, so you cannot have any doubles.
Damn.
So we just know there's one dice in the pot. On to Celia. So it's already looking a little bit wobbly. Celia, thievery check, please.
Right. 4.
It's a failure as well. Can you roll 2d8 for me, please?
Yeah.
See if it falls over straight away.
No, not quite.
No, you're all good. Back to Gwilym. Gwilym will do a thievery check. I've got her character sheet. Thievery. Oh my god, everybody sucks. 3d8.
No.
No doubles still.
What do I need to do?
So it's up to 4 now. Back to Morrigan. Placing the next knucklebone. The tower's looking very wobbly.
Wobbly.
Wobbly woo.
Like a jelly.
Like a jelly. Thievery check.
I'm trying, it's just loading.
I want to investigate your laptop when I next come up. It shouldn't be as slow as it is.
I mean, currently there's quite a lot of tabs open, so that
No!
is why. But
That's
normally,
sin.
no. Damn it.
Oh my god, you guys. 4d8.
Shut up!
If you can roll 4d8 for me.
48 for me. 48.
It's like Bowser's Big Blast.
Yeah. Oh, triples! With that, the whole thing just comes clattering down and falling onto the floor. And some a group of fairly noble-looking women at a nearby table all point over and shout together, "Knucklebone!" as they point at you. And
What?
Patty from the kitchen shouts out, "You gotta shout Knucklebone when it all falls down."
Knucklebone.
Great. Well, it's good to know that I take after Rolo when it comes to playing that game, which name I can't say.
Knucklebone.
I can't say it, Tom. Not in this accent, I can't.
So yeah, you got to 5, but that's Knucklebone. They would have the day's high score up on the board, which at the moment is standing at 8.
Celia gets alley-oop out and then feeds him some stuff that she buys from the, like, I don't know, nuts or something they sell.
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't interacted with him for a while, so I don't want to make him non-exist in the world.
Alley-oop happily sits and munches on the nuts, but also takes a liking to one of the bones and is just kind of gnawing on it. Ang, 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 ang. And rolling around and playing with the knucklebone on the table. But yeah, you're welcome to play again, or you can head off to the stables. Completely up to you guys.
Let's head off to the stables.
Yeah. You head off to the stables, only a couple of minutes walk from the inn, just across the way, by the militia. Move you back out. Scrick, for your knowledge, you are put to work and you are worked hard. Patty is a strict boss, and especially because she was like, "Oh, I want you at the dinner rush," and you were like, "Yeah, let's go now." She's like, "All right then," and just gets you like scrubbing all the most caked on grime and everything on pots and pans for the day. But for the rest of you, you head over from the Salty Knucklebone to the militia center. You see the stables. A number of different horses are kept here for safekeeping. You see your own wagon and your own mounts here. The body in the wagon has already been removed. No longer there. Same with the plate mail.
Primrose will go and get the potted dandy out of the wagon and carry him around. I think he might need some sunlight for a bit.
Growing happily, you can see. He looks about 2/3 of the way done.
Cute.
But yeah, who are you looking to like flag down a staff member at the stable?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see there is a Hadozi man working away in a stable, shoveling hay currently. You head over to him. He seems to be frowning and seems to be lost in his thoughts. What do you say?
She just says, hey, do you know the light bearers, and the horse, Old Thunder? Did they house him here when they passed through about 10 days ago?
He kind of straightens his back and kind of punches his fist into his lower back and just says, yep, Thunder was here. Pain in the ass, as always.
Yeah, did they, I don't suppose you, they housed him and took him and went on their way? They didn't, I don't know, they didn't leave him here, or they didn't, you haven't seen any sign of him?
No, not at all. Did their normal thing, tipped generously, always nice when the light bearers come through, went on their way as normal. Old Thunder was an arsehole until Amarea comes out in the morning, graceful as you like, places a hand on him, and suddenly he's the best behaved horse in all of Hespia. But, yeah, normal.
And you haven't seen any of their horses perhaps straying the outskirts, perhaps, since then?
No. What's this about?
Old Thunder, he came back to Lumen, alone.
Alone? Without Amarea?
Yeah. without anyone.
Blimey.
We're just
Nasty
wondering,
business.
maybe he'd escaped from here or something.
No, they all left a couple of weeks back, heading off north, all as per usual. They had to drag the two older guys, Sigurd Stormeye and the half orc, Yormag, had to drag them out of bed. They looked pretty worse for wear, but yeah, all up on the horses, riding off, well-to-do, all of that good stuff.
Okay.
Everyone always just passes through. No one tries to sort any of the problems out here.
Yeah. Well, cheers.
Listen, as he kind of looks at the fact that you're wearing a weapon, Celia, you don't happen to be I don't know, a warrior of some kind, a mercenary, someone who could, for a bit of coin, sort out a few louts?
She kind of looks down and looks down at her own sword and stuff and says, "Yeah, I guess I am. Sure. What have you got in mind?"
Right. My family, we own a bit of farmland out on the outskirts to the northeast here, and everything was fine until bloody Sartris Varlin and his ilk decided they needed some space to keep some of the weird animals that they keep by, bears and tigers and all sorts. And we told them that we needed the land, it's ours, it's been in our family for generations, but they wouldn't take no for an answer, and so, well, long story short, we've been strong-armed out of our own place and told that if we head back there, we won't be leaving with our lives. I've been to the militia, but you know how they are. Bloody seawall, don't do anything. So we scraped together what coin we have, and we're looking for someone capable to run them off the land. We just want our farmland back.
Yeah, we've had some run-ins with Sartris ourselves, so this works out quite nicely as she looks to Primrose.
Yeah. Is he there himself?
Oh, no, not him. He's never really seen too often. He sends his cronies out to do all the dirty business.
I'm sure his cronies know where he's hiding, though.
Yeah, probably. Just follow the chain up and I'm sure you'll get to him. Look, I'm not putting out a bounty on his head or anything. I just want my family's land back. If you can get the cronies out of there, then what you do with them is entirely up to you.
Oh, this
Yeah.
might help. This might help put a dent, maybe in his business, Celia. Maybe it'll help.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I mean, we should talk to Skrick about it first. He might not want us putting a target on our backs, but
Well, you might want to come.
he might want to come as well. Some cronies might
There'll be a
have
lot
good
of stuff there.
Yeah, good stuff on him. Yeah, let's go back to the Salty Knucklebone and see how tired he is after probably cleaning a bunch of pots and pans for like 4 hours.
Well, we've got about 7 gold altogether. I know it's not much. We're just a bunch of farmers. But it'd all be yours, and we could stock you up with food. We got plenty of food stock. Whatever you need, and
That's okay. Maybe if you just take care of our horses for the night, maybe?
Yeah,
We've got quite a few of them.
yeah, gladly. Yeah, I'll make sure they get the best treatment. My name's Zenthi. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I don't want to presume. He kind of like points in turn. He's like, I can see sword, shield, but he points at you, Primrose.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you a magical person by any chance?
Well, I guess you could say that. More naturey, I guess. I got these, and she pulls out salve. I've got these, and she pulls out some carrots. You know, they all help in a way.
Oh, lovely. Someone of the land. Well, that gives me some reassurance. You'll know just what it means to have a plot of land that you tend and nurture the plants there. But I just, and he kind of leans forward, conspiratorially a little bit. He's like, I've got a bit of a problem. One of my teeth, and he kind of bares his jaw, like grimaces, and you see one of his back teeth is wooden. And he's like, this is gonna sound crazy. At night, that tooth comes alive.
Oh, really?
I'm sorry.
Yes. Yes, I know how ridiculous it sounds. It's driven me and the wife mental. It gets out of my gum and runs around.
Oh, the only thing that's kind of weird is that it lives in your mouth.
What? What's happening? I sort of zoned out for a second there, and then I was like, what the fuck?
If Morrigan's joining them going to the stables, they've just been told by this man that he needs some help because one of his teeth wooden teeth
Yeah.
is a wooden
Oh, I
tooth and
heard
it comes
I
alive
just
at
didn't
night.
quite comprehend it. That was all.
He rolls his eyes and he kind of slumps down on a nearby crate and puts his head in his hands. He's like, I know it sounds completely mad. I made a bet. I was drunk. I made a bet with a bard, a traveling guy named Corian Moon. Bastard. He took advantage of me. I was well in my drinks, and he said he would bet me 3 gold pieces. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. That he could take a tooth out of my mouth without touching me. I called him a fool. Next thing you know, he's got his loot over his shoulder and he's plucking a cord, and my wooden tooth comes leaping out of my mouth with a shriek like an orcish war cry and lands in his hand.
Can Primrose do detect magic?
Yeah, absolutely. And as you
No.
detect magic, you absolutely get a ping of magic nearby.
Yep, that's magical, right?
I have to ask, why do you keep putting it back in?
Yeah.
Well, in the daytime, it behaves itself, and if it's out, then when I'm eating, it all goes wrong, and I jab myself in the gums. It's
Well,
just at night.
Why don't you just get a new one?
Are you,
You know, I
suggesting
hadn't thought of that.
your wooden tooth is like a gremlin?
Yeah, it behaves like a gremlin. Maybe it is. Maybe it's like the soul of a gremlin trapped in my wooden
Don't
tooth.
feed it after midnight and it won't run out of your mouth or something?
Well, maybe. It's hard not to feed something that's in your mouth, though, you know? It's where my food goes.
You'd see Morrigan, like, close her eyes and be like, right.
If I ever see that raven-haired bastard again, I'm going to sock him one. Take all his teeth out.
is
Corian
a
Moon fancies
very-
himself a...
Strange conversation.
Mm.
Does Morrigan know Corian Moon?
Morrigan... Morrigan's older.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, Morrigan, I think, might know of Corian Moon. Corian Moon travelled with a group of travelling folk, people of Amlane, the Wandering Hearth, who visited Lumen and settled for a short period of time. And you know that Corian Moon got very close with Celia's mother, Hylia
No.
Brunt.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck,
yeah.
I know this fucking name.
You do.
And I fucking... I knew I recognised it.
No
and
idea.
Yeah,
was-
I could hear the cogs turning.
Celia, he's your real dad.
Well,
Wait, what?
Celia says, yes, this took me a second to call on. I was like, I know this name, but I just assume it's some random fucking thing I've read in Tom's Law at some point. Yeah, Celia would say, wait, you say Corian Moon?
Yeah, Corian Moon, man about town.
Is he in town now?
Oh, no. It was 4 days ago. He was here, and they moved on north, I think. Bastard.
Okay. She doesn't say anything.
Anyway, he's long gone now. That type just ups and leaves. But, anyway, I was just wondering if you had anything that could help with the tooth, but it's not. No problem otherwise. Maybe I should just buy a new one.
Where did he where did this happen? Was it at the Knucklebone Inn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Of an
See-
evening, 4 days ago, I think.
Celia goes a bit like noticeably quieter.
Anyway, you said you wanted to speak to a friend of yours, so there's no immediate rush, I suppose. But yeah, if you let me know, I'll show you where the land is.
Well, I assume we'll probably do it maybe tonight. Go and have a look.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Well, very grateful for whatever help you can give us. If you want half the money now, you seem like good people.
No, we'll just wait till after. That's fine.
Oh, all right. Very kind, thank you. A lot of money for us, but
Oh,
yeah.
well,
Sorry,
Well, if
I'll
it's
make.
going to put you out, we don't want to do that.
We scraped it together because just if we can get back our farmland, we'll be fine, and we want to make sure you're rewarded for a good deed. But I'll make sure the horses are well cared for. That Sweets is a bit of a special one.
Yeah, she is. She really likes carrots.
Carrots I can do. Make sure she doesn't. She has an evening full of carroty goodness. And yeah, sorry, the the horses all normal. I haven't seen any other horses roaming nearby. We're kept very busy here.
Yeah. Well, if you see anyone that may have like picked them up on the outside, and brings them to you, you know.
Yeah, I'll ask around. Yeah, I can do that.
Well, we'll be back in a minute then, maybe.
All right. Cheers.
Let's go get Squeak.
Yeah.
You head back into the Salty Knucklebone, and you head up to the bar, and you see the door behind heading into the kitchens. Ask one of the halflings. They go and fetch Scrick. Patty would tell you that he's only done half his shift so far, but he's welcome to do the rest of it later on.
What does Squeak do?
The groove.
What's that?
I was getting into the groove. Where are you going?
Well, we're gonna go and try and scare away some of the whatever that guy's name is men off of the horse, the owner's land.
Is there money in it?
A little bit of money, but they might just have stuff for you, Squeak. There.
Yeah,
There
but I
was
want the
stuff
money to buy the glass. You know, the
Oh.
mug.
He's given 7
Oh.
gold, so
Oh. Well, if give me 7 gold, if you give me 2 of that, then I'll help. So I can buy myself a mug.
it seems fair.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm surprised they're gonna sell it at all, but yeah, if they're gonna.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll be back later. Pay for my my bed and board.
Yeah, you're halfway done. So at the moment, you can have bed or board.
I'll choose bed. I'll try and come back and do it, but you never know how these adventuring things go.
Yeah, all right.
I'm coming for that mug.
Looks mad.
Looks mine, motherfucker. Okay,
All
so
right.
you head back out.
Yeah.
Zenthi's there. He takes a moment to let someone know to take care of the stables. And he leads you off. You're led back out into kind of the open area past the old Pebble Theatre. You hear someone very bad at singing, practicing singing on the stage, and it's kind of screechy, and you wince slightly as you go by, and see other people have left a big open area around the theatre. But he leads you out right onto the outskirts, where he kind of stops you, stood near a different farmstead. He says this isn't his family's. His family's is just there over in the next field. And you can see from where you're standing that a number of different animals have been chained to big metal stakes that have been pushed into the ground, and the field is just being used as like an open fenced area for these animals. You see a number of different creatures. You see a couple of bears, you see an exotic tiger in a more properly caged area. You see a bunch of smaller creatures, forest-dwelling creatures, stags from open fields, all sorts, big and small, are just crammed into this field and look very sorry for themselves.
This is really horrible. I think we should let them all go while we're there.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe we can make a hole in the fence or something. The outside fence.
Oh, we don't want to go messing with the Haywards. That's not good.
The what now?
The what?
Haywards. The fences that keep animals in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh.
We
Well,
might get in big trouble if we do that.
well, they can fix it after, but how if we just let them all loose in the one area, then they're all just gonna eat each other.
What happens if they escape and then eat other people's crops? That's not good.
Yeah,
Well-
maybe we should focus on getting rid of Sarch's men first. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Anyone got any ideas? Maybe we can sneak in there. Maybe we can scare them away with Revna.
I mean, I want to talk to one of them because I want to know where Sarchus is. So
Okay.
maybe we go in pretending to wanting to buy and then go from there. I don't know.
Yeah. Should we all go in, or just in pairs, or
I think we should all go in.
okay?
Okay, so you head towards the large barn at the end of the field. You can see there are a few people moving things around, carrying some of these wooden cages with small creatures in inside the barn. Are you all just walking straight up?
Can we? Do we like stake it out for a bit? Maybe see how many people we can see. I don't know.
Yeah, if you take a moment to stake it out, it's easy enough to blend in here. There are farmers moving around. You see that there seems to be maybe 3 or 4 people who just look like labourers moving the animals around. They don't seem to have too much stake in what they're doing. They occasionally stop and wipe the sweat from their brow. And then you see 2 people who look more like overseers, clad in poorly concealed leather armor underneath more casual clothes. They look pretty rough. One a half-orcish man and what looks to be an ephemeral elf woman. They kind of take turns overseeing what's going on outside and what's going out inside, barking orders at the labourers.
I don't know what to do.
I've got an idea.
Go ahead.
What is it?
Alright, well, just back me up, yeah?
Oh, okay.
Scrick's gonna storm into the barn.
He's like, what are you doing in my barn?
Okay, so Quick storms into the barn, shouts, "What are you doing in my barn?"
Yeah.
Some of the labourers turn around, and one of the overseers, the elvish woman, turns around and just says, "This is our barn. Who are you?"
No, this is my barn. See?
And he gets out a piece of paper and like flashes it.
He's right, it's his barn.
Yep. It's not your. It's not anyone in his barn, except for the Skrik.
We've come back from vacation and what what's going on?
I happen to know the family that owns this barn, and none of you are members of it.
Well, did the steward said that he transferred membership to me?
Okay, her eyes narrow at that.
Yeah, he wasn't earning enough money, so now we have it.
Roll a deception check, Skrick.
Oh shit! I'm not good at deception. I'll use a hero point now.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, we're well
Oh
over this.
fuck!
Okay. Everyone has a hero point, and Skrick, you can give yourself another one. In fact, everyone can have a second one. Everybody's been doing the roleplay good. Yeah. Her eyes narrow. She looks like some of the laborers kind of look around like, oh. But her eyes narrow, and she steps towards you and just says, "Well, show me the paper then."
Scrick looks around.
Oh wait, is this it's actually, it doesn't look like my barn. I think I went to the wrong one. Sorry.
And he like starts backing out.
She signals to a couple of the laborers, and they move to block your exit. She says, "Hold on a second. Who are you?"
Name's Scrick from Lumen.
Lumen. The little village. She kind of eyes up the rest of you. And you're all just here to reclaim a barn.
Yeah, Primrose's ears prick up and she huffs out her chest. That's right, we're here to reclaim this barn. And that means you should all leave.
Yeah, if you know what's good for you, then you should get the hell out of here.
Have an intimidation check, please.
She's also gonna say on top of that, I don't know if this will help.
Yep.
Just saying, you want to see what happened to the salt crunchers if you want to know what happens if you mess with us.
Okay. That definitely will help. Whoa. Yeah. At that, her eyes go from that kind of suspicious squint to a wary, wide stare. She's just like, "That was you." Listen, there is no problem here. We can you can give us some time. We have a lot of things to move. Let us come back in. In by dusk, we will be gone from this place.
Alright, sounds good.
Primrose just looks over to Celia in a kind of like, what do we do now? Don't really want these guys to leave with all these animals, particularly.
No. How about you tell us where your boss is hiding, and then we'll consider it.
Boss? What boss is this?
You know who I'm talking about. Let's stop bullshitting around and pretending we're coming back for barns and all that.
She kind of backs up a little bit, like just takes a half step back. And she just says, "Let's just all walk away from here. We'll clear out the barn, the field. No more needs to be said or done. And no boss needs to be involved.
I, for one, am actually in agreement with this woman here. I don't want to fight.
Hmm.
Unless for my goddamn mug.
Hmm.
I don't know what to do.
I'm trying to think because I mean, obviously the horse stable guy
He's waiting
wants
outside,
them
by
to
the way.
just
He
go.
wouldn't come with you. Yeah.
Yeah. He just wants them to get out of the field,
Mm-hmm.
but we want the animals free
Yeah.
and to fuck over the guy,
And we want to know where he is.
and we want to know where he is. I think we might just have to fight them.
She gestures for the laborers to move out the way of the door. Kind of points towards it. Just give us the afternoon and we'll be gone.
Yeah, no, I think you'll be gone now. And, like I said, I think I want to involve your boss.
Her eyes kind of narrow. Again, there's like another half step back. Are you really sure you want to involve yourself with my boss?
Well, let's say he involved himself with me first, so...
There's like another kind of flash of thought in the woman's eyes. She's like, I see. Well, I don't think this is perhaps going to work out. As she signals back again to the laborers who stand in front of the doors once more.
Last chance.
Mm.
Yeah. She doesn't back down. There's a tension in the room. You see some of the laborers reaching for like heavy implements around them,
Yeah,
and the
Celia draws a weapon.
the other overseer has come back into the barn as well, and looks
Mm.
ready to go.
Yeah, Celia's drawn a weapon.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
it's going
Let's
down.
do that, yep.
It's going down. Ah,
We might die.
right.
This is stupid, but oh well.
Yeah.
What are we fighting for?
We're trying to stop fucking Sartre's Valin because he was fucking over our doggy friend.
Tychus Whitefurs
Yeah. It seems like he's fucking over a lot of people, to be fair.
Yeah.
does. Right. I didn't actually think this was going to go this way, so we're going to have to go to an improv map. So if you can draw yourselves out onto this grid, please. It's not a huge space. I'll start drawing some squares so you know where you are.
I could stop early tonight if you want because I'm really tired.
Yeah? Should we leave it there for now?
Yeah, and then it gives you
That
a
would
chance
suit
to
me fine.
do a map and stuff. And...
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm just really tired. I'm sorry.
No, not at all.
Nobody gave you a big book about improving things, Tom.
Oh, you know, who have you met so far? Zenthi, the stable guy with the wooden tooth. That's from
Yeah.
the book, Anya.
What with the
The
it was
tooth
in,
that comes alive. Yeah.
what I bought you the worst birthday.
Anya
present.
got me an amazing book for my birthday, and I can't take credit for such a cool idea.
It's
It's
really cool.
the Game Master's book of non-player characters, and it's fucking awesome.
That's really
Um,
cool.
And it's got tables to roll people up, and yeah, one of the guys. It's so useful for like inspiration. Because yeah, I've made a load of them, but none of them are quite what the book said. But you like adapt it from there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
that
think
sounds
there might
perfect to
be
me.
one for maps. I'll go and have a look tomorrow when I go to Blackwell's.
Awesome. Thank you very much, my love.
You're welcome.
But yeah, we'll call the session to a close for for tonight then. Stop a little bit early today. We are playing each week now, so that sounds fine by me.
Yeah.
And we can all have some lovely rest. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed your first steps into Sea Spray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots of different threads here. You've only just touched the surface, but we shall see.
How many people are we fighting, Tom? Just so I know how fucked we are.
Oh, you guys aren't fucked.
No.
This is like a step above the Salt Crunchers, but not by that much.
Okay.
So they, as you'll find probably a few times until you guys get a bit more of a reputation in South Hespia, people are going to underestimate you because you look like a bunch of kids, like roaming around. Like Celia's looks tougher and has the sword and shield Morrigan's an adult and everything, but it's like Primrose and Scrick are just like, it's like, look at that adorable rabbit girl and that weird little dude in the hood.
What are you doing in my barn?
Yeah, she was like, what the fuck?
Is it
But
the
yeah.
rat from Ratatouille?
Oh, yes.
But yeah, I also misspoke. This guy isn't Hadozi. This guy is human.
Oh damn it!
And he
Well,
look-
I already wrote Hadozi now, so.
Oh well, that's his art. It's so cool.
Oh shit.
He's got
Crazy
crazy
hair.
hair. I love him.
Looks like a Hadozi to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, and Kieran, I've got incredible art for the dragon.
Oh, slimy.
Yep, it's so cool.
Nice. If he comes up.
I think it's very likely. yeah. Thank you all very much. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Have
Thank
a lovely evening.
Goodbye.
Cthulhu
Bye.
on Wednesday.
Oh
Hail
yeah.
you.
On Wednesday.
Super excited.
7:30.
Bye-bye.
Wait, what's on Wednesday?
Cthulhu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye,
Keep
everyone.
well.
Goodbye. See you later.
night.